Hello, everybody. Well, welcome to a new episode of Fonecallz, and I gotta say, this might be the most special episode of all because
Are we starting? Did we start already?
Vince is here live. Whoa!
Whoa!
Vinny, we can touch each other. Whoa! Welcome
You're
to
a real
Fonecallz.
boy!
I missed you.
How's it going?
Good, bud.
Wow, this isn't even a... Sorry, I was just noticing all the dust in my coffee.
There's dust in it?
Well, yeah, because you swept off the cat hair earlier, and a whole plume of it.
Sorry.
It's okay. This isn't a phone call, though.
This isn't. This is a lot. This is a live reality, real talk.
We're gonna get real. We're gonna get deep, down, dirty.
Gosh, just feels so weird after doing this for a whole year.
Yeah,
over the computer.
It's also too the way we're sitting. It's not like a nap. Like even this is like not typically how we would.
It's close too.
This is how the Europeans do it.
We only have so much slack on the mic cord to the computer, but we're gonna make it work.
Anyway,
welcome back to Ohio.
Hey man, it's good to be in Ohio.
Is it?
It's fine.
Okay, good.
I was trying to think of like I was gonna try to like playfully shit on it, but I couldn't think of a clever thing to say.
The Ohio getting shit on memes is going like supersonic right now.
Really?
Dude, yeah. Like I'll be watching random TikToks and like there'll be like either people acting stupid or just something ridiculous happening, and then like the top comment is like, "Oh, must live in Ohio," or like "only in Ohio," and I'm like, what the like? It's not even relative,
huh?
But yeah, that's just I think become the punching bag of states lately, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not upset about it.
You're not?
I'm not upset about it, but I also think that it's just kind of become like an easy joke. You know when jokes get overused and it's like, all right.
Yeah, it's like Florida man joke.
Yeah.
I'm sure Florida men feel like we're not all like,
hey,
we're not all that way.
I guess
some
that's
of
where
us,
I'm at.
Yeah, you're Ohio man now.
I'm Ohio man. That sounds weird.
Ohio man.
I don't know if I like that.
Ohio man leads most boring existence of any of the other 49 states.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset.
Look, dude, I'm from here, so I can't act like I'm California man.
Yeah, but you kind of are LA man now.
You think so?
LA man.
I mean, I could tell you what my rising sign is.
Yeah, that's pretty
and my moon.
If you can say your moon, then yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know if there's any Ohio left in you. So we don't have a topic for this episode, but I think we got a lot to catch up on. You had a pretty eventful last couple days.
I was one of the many. I feel like, do we address the...
I don't know. I keep doing that. Like I'm looking at the camera and then
because if we look at each other, it's just a profile the whole time, right?
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah. Do we need to sit? Do we need to cheat?
This is weird because when we do it regularly, we're just looking kind of towards our camera, so it's not a thing.
Because how about the whole conversation? I kind of look this way a little bit.
Oh, that's good. And I can look right here.
Okay.
Like maybe we cheat.
Maybe it looks like we're talking to each other.
Yeah, this is totally.
This is normal. So I had a very eventful trip in.
Oh yes, tell me about it, Vince.
It was. I was one of the many millions of Americans left stranded and put out and annoyed with flying.
Yeah, so you had a connecting flight.
I was LA to Chicago to Cleveland.
Yep.
The first leg got delayed so that I couldn't catch the connecting flight. And I was saying like when they first pushed it back, I had an hour window to connect, which is fine. But then when they pushed it back, it was like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm sitting at the back of the plane.
Yeah.
And you know how it takes people fucking forever to get off the plane. You know, right?
I do know.
It's crazy. So I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. There's no way. I'm all stressed out about it. Then they pushed it back again. And I'm definitely not going to make it. And then a wave of calm washed over me. And I'm like, it doesn't matter now.
Nothing matters.
I'll get there. I'll figure it out. I'll go with the flow. which is exactly what John Candy kept saying
That's right.
to Steve Martin in Planes, Trains.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow. So I went with the flow. And I got to Chicago, and then also, here's what made the whole story I'm about to tell you. The whole thing was made worse because it was all wrapped up in. I had a fucking gnarly headache when I got off the plane in Chicago. I think it was a combination of like the pressure changes, not having enough food and water, and going through good old fashioned caffeine withdrawals.
Ah. Wait, I didn't know. Wait, was it just a day?
But I'm back on the junk today.
Did you, like, how long were you not drinking coffee before you took the trip?
Just like a day, yeah.
Holy cow.
Dude, if I drink coffee, like, when I start to drink coffee, it's like I can't not do less than 2 cups a day.
Really?
It's if I have 1 cup, I'm like, I need another. Like, I need another one.
I need it.
And then after 2, I feel fine after 2. But if I do that for like a week and then just the next day I don't drink it, I feel tired in the afternoon. I take a nap. I wake up with a headache and I just feel like shit the rest of the day.
Dang.
So I think that kind of happened.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get to Chicago, and I go and wait. I go wait in line at the customer service thing to figure out what's going to happen. And keep in mind, also, every step of the way, there was this couple next to me. Like, at every stop of my little journey, like, there they were, like, also experiencing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, we're going to put you up. Okay, there's no flights. We're going to put you up in a hotel. Go get a shuttle. So I go down to get a shuttle. And, also, it felt like I was in a video game, too. Like, I was gamifying the whole experience to try to make it, like, fun.
Yeah.
Where, like...
Next level.
Well, because I went down to the shuttles, and, like, I'm like, looking, and I don't... Like, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, you know? But I saw the couple that I recognized, so I approached them, and I pressed X, and it was like... I was like, what did I say to them? I was like, oh, you guys... Where hotel are they putting there? Where are you guys going? You know, hey, I'm here too. Like, where are you guys going? They're like, oh, we're going here. I'm like, I'm going to the Marriott. And then it was just like in a game. They gave me information. They're like, oh yeah, we've seen the Marriott vans. They're white and there's very faded Marriott text on them. And I'm like, great, this is what I need to know. This is the information I needed to complete the game. So then a white Marriott van pulls up, and I go out to the guy. I'm like, is this going to the Marriott Hoffman Estates? He goes, you might want to call. I don't go there. You might want to call them. So I'm like, okay. So I go back inside, and
oh my god,
there's the number. So I call the number, and I'm like waiting, and like no, it rings like 15 times. I hang up. I'm just like, fuck. I call again, and then someone answers. And they're like, hey, I'm trying to get you guys running shuttles, and like we're actually not running shuttles right now. And I was like, and as soon as I was like, I hung up the phone. I was like, fuck. Out of the corner of my ear, I heard this guy go, stuck in fucking Chicago. And it was the couple. It was the guy and the girl. And the guy was pissed off, man. So I'm like, all right. So I go upstairs. I'm like, I'll just catch a cab. Take a cab there. So I go outside. There's a line of cabs. I approach one of the cabs is there, and he goes, I'm taking vouchers. You got a voucher? I'm like, yeah, I got a voucher. He's like, no, this is a hotel voucher. You need a cab voucher. I'm like, so I need another item now. And it's like, he goes, if you don't, it's like an $80 to $100 ride. So I'm like, okay, well, the airline will give me one. So I go inside, waiting in line to get the taxi voucher. There's the couple waiting to get their taxi voucher. So I end up getting it. I go back out. I approach the first cab that's now in line. I'm like, hey, I got a voucher. He's like, I don't take vouchers. I'm like, all right, well. So then eventually another cab pulled around that took vouchers. And I get in. And as I'm about to take off, someone knocks on the window, and it's the couple. They're there.
And they needed to go with you?
They needed to go also to a Marriott, but they're going to a different Marriott. So the cab driver is trying to explain to them it's not the same Marriott, and they're too angry at this point to parse information appropriately. Yeah. So I just look at them like, guys, there's different Marriotts, and I'm sorry, good luck, and I just shut the window on them. And then...
that probably sent him over the edge.
And then we took... I don't know what... actually, as we were taking off in the distance, there was like a bright light. And there was like someone went Super Saiyan.
That's no, you just made his villain origin story is
Yeah.
like the last thing you saw.
I heard a supersonic boom and there was a faint white light.
Oh man. Okay, so you finally make it to
So I get to the hotel
this Marriott in Chicago.
and I feel like shit. I get to the room. I know, dude. Also, the guy behind the desk, like, his name was Manny, and he's like, I see, he like saw me coming. He made a comment like, I see that you are one of the many, like something to that effect. It was really nice though. It wasn't like, and I feel like this dude is. I feel like I don't know if you've been to a hotel lately, but this guy must have been watching White Lotus. I feel like he took on the persona of like a White Lotus character.
I haven't seen it yet.
At all?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, there's
What's the character?
Well, like even in the first season, there's like the hotel concierge, like the main dude.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a woman in the new one, but like either way, the hotel concierge person, like in the first season, he's like this very like warm, jovial, like, you know, he's playing a character. And like this dude was very much like, it felt like he was playing a character.
I see.
And maybe that was just me projecting onto him, but I just felt like you watched the show and now you're trying to be this thing that you've seen, which was fine. Because he just was very much like, you know, I just felt like whatever. So I get to my room and I feel like crap. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bar and have a beer and take the edge off. And so I get a beer, and I get like halfway through it and I feel like I'm gonna vomit. Like I have nausea. I have like nausea now.
Your body's like, that's not what I needed, Vince.
Dude, and I'm sitting there. I'm like,
oh god.
and so I tell the bar, I'm like, sir, I'd already paid my bill. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't finish this. I try to be like really smooth about it. I'm like, it's making me feel worse. And so I'm like speed walking back to my room, and like my mouth is salivating the whole time, and I'm like, just hang on, dude, don't puke. Like I'm like, what if I puke in the hallway? Like this sucks. I get to the room, I kneel down before the porcelain god, and of course nothing. I feel fine.
Yeah.
I end up taking a shower. I order some IHOP. I barely eat it because I just can't. And I fall asleep, and then whatever. I wake up and I feel fine.
So maybe you just needed rest the whole time.
Oh, I absolutely, yeah. I was just trying to see how I can Amelia Earhart it the whole time. Ameliorate, whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
that's.
Hey, and you went with the flow. You dealt with the ups and downs.
Dude, oh my god, and then I eventually got on the plane to Cleveland, we land in Cleveland, and then we're sitting on the tarmac for like 30 minutes.
And that was because of what? De-icing, you said?
No, because they were short-staffed. The whole problem across the board was everyone was short-staffed.
Yeah,
there weren't enough people. So there was like one crew working on the planes the whole time.
So the original problem that set all of this off was, you think, because they were short-staffed?
Well, I think there was a technical the plane that went from LAX to Chicago, they had to there was technical problems with that plane. So the crew didn't get to our plane was ready to go, but the crew wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because they were late.
The whole like airline, like everything about the industry and how it works and how like it just doesn't it seem like such a jumble, like it's a miracle that there's just like a normal travel day with like,
dude, yeah.
Well, these people have to come here and this plane's going here and then going here. It's just like a labyrinth of just
logistics.
Yeah, logistics that it seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's funny that you describe it that way. That it's like it seems like flying on a plane is like making a movie now, where it's a miracle. Where if it goes right,
there's like planners, like, oh, this needs to be here. No, you need to be in this gate right now.
Yeah.
Then
last thing was in the bag situation. I had to find my bag. It was amongst like a sea of bags. Because I got there early, it was like a bunch of like cows and like a corral.
Yeah,
a bunch of sleeping cows were all the bags, and I'm like. Looked fine. Anyway, I got it. I got home and everything. Now I'm here. It's fine.
When you originally told me that you were delayed, and I didn't know the reason, I just remember thinking like, what if just something like the crew had like diarrhea or something, like, and it just sets off a chain, like something like who knows, or like they just slept past their alarm, like the pilot is just like whoops, and then it just sets off this cascade of events that affect so many people that you just never like who knows who it affects. but it immediately changes everybody's life because of one person's like decision or like something that happens to them.
Yeah, dude, if you work at an airline, your butterfly effect wingspan is huge.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big. Oh, don't start me on like the air traffic controllers, like those people. Like, I just hope that they're getting enough sleep every night.
You thinking about that scene from Breaking Bad?
Yeah. But even before that, just when I found out what air traffic controllers do and like their job and like knowing that it was a very high stress job, I always remember like, I hope they get paid good. Like, I just hope they don't walk into work feeling like those are the people that you don't want walking to work being like, I don't want to fucking be here.
I'm gonna have acid today.
Yeah, I'm gonna just phone it in. It's like, no, please don't. Please don't.
Flight 86, I guess. Go. Whatever.
Are you here yet? Okay, take off.
2029 or you're clear. I don't know if he's... I don't fucking know. I don't care
if he's clear. Yeah, that would suck. Well,
I wonder if they do a lot of coke. I wonder if it's a lot of... Because, you know, like, Wall Street is, like, you know, fueled by amphetamines. I wonder if, like, air traffic controllers... There's just some industries where there's just, like, you need substances to keep it afloat. You know? There's just some, like, the backbone of some... I wonder if it's, like, the backbone of being air traffic controllers is just, like, a lot of coffee or Coke or something.
Yeah, I would hope it's more so on the coffee side, but...
Yeah. No, I want my air traffic controllers on Coke, dude.
Coked up?
Yeah, I want them... Yeah, Coke, speed.
I want my pilots like in the Red Rising trilogy where they like literally are like like their cyborg, they're linked with the airplane.
Nobody knows that reference.
Still, hey man, there might be some people. You know that reference.
You could have better said the Warhammer 40,000 where they're
I'm sure.
The telekinetic pilots linked into whatever, it's the same shit. Yeah, that'd be cool.
They're tethered.
Would you do that?
No.
That makes immediately I want to talk because I watched Severance and it's just making me think of like what parts of your humanity would you give up for your job?
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do. We don't
gotta get into all that.
Well, I finished Severance and you're on what? Like you're like halfway.
Episode 4.
4.
I think in the span of 10 minutes, we've referenced 3 different TV shows.
Yeah. Keep up, people.
Which is where pop culture is at right now.
Do you even watch television?
No.
I actually don't. I don't watch that much. But I have started. Here's another reference. Andor.
Nope. I don't care about Star Wars.
But I will say, if you did care at all about Star Wars, I feel like Andor might be your thing. Because Andor is an outlier in the Star Wars universe of
like
content.
The black sheep of the Star Wars
It's just like, you know how of the recent films, like Rogue One has felt like a part from the rest? Like it felt like kind of distinct in its own thing. Did you see Rogue One?
Which one was that again?
Rogue One is where they're on the mission to the Empire, like... You remember?
They have
like the suicide mission.
Isn't it the one that takes place like before?
Yeah, and like right before A New Hope.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Yeah. Do you remember how it kind of felt like an outlier at all?
Kind of.
Like it's a little more gritty and like warlike.
More
dark. It's more dark Star Wars.
Dark Wars.
Get freaking Jar Jar Binks out of here. He's got no room in this war game.
We need to make this
Star
Wars gritty, dude.
Well, anyways, it's all by the same creator, I think. And it follows a character from Rogue One, before Rogue One. So we're going back more.
Oh.
But it's well done. It's cool.
Okay. It's a show?
It is a show on Disney+.
I'm not going to watch it.
All right, cool.
I'm not going to watch it.
Glad we went down that rabbit hole. Severance is good. Have you watched anything else recently that you want to discuss?
I don't want to talk about what I've watched. I want to talk about Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Happy
holidays. Sorry.
What did you
Happy
say?
Hanukkah.
Oh, Happy New Year? Happy Hanukkah?
I thought that's where you were going to go. Well, you said holidays, and I thought it's not PC to leave anybody out. Happy holidays! You guys did Christmas? The other...
no.
Well...
We don't do Christmas anymore.
Yeah,
no,
we do.
We do.
But you didn't do it on Christmas because you spent Christmas...
I spent Christmas with all the other lost
souls,
misfits. I mean, no, I got home at like 7. All the older folks were still there waiting, and then as soon as I got there, 20 minutes later, they were like, "We need to go."
Yeah. I'm like, wow, this is about
Well, our backs hurt. We need to
as
go.
much as we could give you, Vince.
Yeah. Yeah, I got there. I ate food. It was good. I had a couple glasses of wine.
Oh, you drank some vino.
I had some vino. I was like, they were like, you want some wine? And I was like, yes. And everyone laughed because they got the subtext.
Is that even a question?
Yeah, and then, I don't know. I woke up and then
Did Santa bring you something?
Santa brought me some cash.
Cold, hard cash.
Cold hard cash, dude, to do what I please.
Not even a check, dude?
No, dude.
Santa knows you need to go under the table with some
$100
stuff.
bill.
Crispy.
And I had to burn one to make sure they were real.
Yep.
And they were real, so I'm down 50.
What is it? Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Burns red. Remember? Isn't that how
Is it burns out? Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a fake.
Oh, that's fake.
That's a fake.
So what do you got plans for the money?
I got plans for the money. But I don't know. I'll just probably deposit it in my bank account.
Does it feel at all like, well, I'll just put this in my bank and then just bills are going to take, like,
Yeah.
do you ever feel like when you get money, it's like, if I don't buy myself a gift with this money, then this money is just going to something not fun?
It's gonna be groceries or my credit card payment.
Adulthood.
Dude, yeah. I could buy. I mean, because what do I want? I want a PS5, which you have. I could take yours.
This is a recurring theme. Get Vinny a PS5,
Look at that. You
everybody.
see that shit? He don't even play it either.
You
barely fucking play that thing.
I do. I'm such a good friend, I'll have you know, and now I'm addressing the audience, that when Vinny came over yesterday, my first time seeing him in a while, he played Call of Duty like for 2 hours straight, and I sat on my computer. But it was just the fact that he was here.
It felt like old times.
It felt like old times.
Sitting in your room.
Yeah.
Where you were working on. You got a script up.
We're such good friends that I don't need this type of engagement.
Dude,
as long as you're here with me.
There was a point though where I was sitting there and I was like, we should. Well, because I kept being like, Aaron, do you want to come?
No,
play?
I know. I genuinely, I just wanted you to look. That was my gift to you.
I was expecting to play like 1 or 2 rounds with Zach. He didn't get on for 30 minutes, and then he invited more people on, and then I was like, well, we're dropping into Warzone, dude. I need to focus here.
And Warzone, because I haven't played the Warzone on it. We're talking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's like a Apex type.
It's the
like
battle
big
battle
royale.
Yep.
You get sent to the gulag if you die.
Yep.
And only if you kill somebody in the gulag can you join the game again.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty sweet.
Kind of like it. I think we might need to cut phone calls short.
I actually had I thought, like, would it be funny if we set it up so that while we were talking, we were also
playing.
Yeah, but I feel like that would have been too much.
A little distraction.
Because even yesterday, I was like struggling to do well.
I do play. I don't play as often as I should.
Yeah.
Well, what does that even mean? As often as I should. It makes me sick to even. You should play games this often. You should watch movies this often. No, I mean
quota.
No, I don't have a quota. I just I play when I'm able to and I want to, and that's good.
You know, it makes me think. Do you get the screen time warning?
Yeah.
Like it's like you're up.
Yeah.
I'm always up 38%.
You just keep every week.
I feel like I'm always up.
Yeah.
But like I thought it'd be funny if maybe you were down and like the way the message is written, it's like you should be like you should.
Yeah.
Be,
Like is everything okay?
Yeah. They like kind of frame it so that it's like, are you feeling all right? You haven't been using your phone as much.
We've got some great apps to keep up productivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to connect with friends more?
Oh gosh. I've made a when I make an effort, I've seen it go down.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, which is stupid, is on screen time, that's just relevant to your phone. Like, sure, I'll be like, oh, I've worked really hard at it and I've got my screen time down, and then I think about it and I'm like, I just went on my computer.
Right.
I just replaced one screen for the next.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not a real true test of like screen time and like how much you're absorbing every day.
So I don't think my parents listen to this podcast, but
Careful.
now I've said something to them before, but like last night well, it's every night I've been home 2 nights, whatever. My parents will be like, whatever. My mom's like getting dinner ready or like cleaning up or something, and my dad's like watching. He's got the TV on, but he's also on his iPad, and he's scrolling through, and he's got the sound on. So it's every 3 seconds, it's a new sound. It's like, bro, at least turn the sound off. Like we're all listening to the oh no, and then it slips to someone screaming, and then it's like I'm down. I'm like I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. And my mom is just sitting there like not saying. I'm like, how is this? At one point we're watching TV. I'm like, Dad, can you please turn the volume down on that thing? He's like, oh yeah, sorry. We're watching Top Gun, and it's like,
no way, he had it going during Top Gun.
no, he had the sound off, but there's a dude.
But he was still flipping on an iPad.
I mean, to be fair, even at one point I looked at my phone. I looked at Instagram for a second, but like,
oh, all right.
In saying I criticize, I include myself in that too.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you.
I feel fine saying that because I've said something to him, so I don't feel like I'm saying anything. I haven't said to his face, but yeah, I was just like, oh man, like
and the TV sound was going as well.
Just like the TV sound was on, like he's scrolling through the thing.
He gets a phone call.
It's like a layer. There's just a cacophony of just awful sounds, and I'm just like,
yeah, that's a headache.
Yeah,
but I feel like if you do it and it just becomes your habit and you don't even realize it.
I mean, dude,
we do so much with our phones now that becomes habit that you're probably like the amount of times you pick it up. You've talked about it before. It's like, oh, I'm rendering out a video. I'm going to pick up TikTok, and then it becomes like 15 minutes, and you're like, where'd the time go?
Yeah,
like holy shit. I mean, they're like made to just suck you in, and like you're just going to become a drone.
Yeah, you just get tunnel vision.
It's crazy reading about the, how I think they just passed the bill, like you can't have a government issued device with TikTok on it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Like that's how worried they are about.
Was that so that was the extent of the bill? It just was for government phones?
I think I don't think it extends to like local police or anything. Or no, definitely not civilians. It's just I think anybody within government.
I mean, honestly, like because I know it's like it's easy to like demonize China. Like I'm not demonizing the Chinese people, but like the government, whatever. I'll demonize any government. But like, is that such a bad thing to like? Because it's a company that's owned by the government, and like they can, like.
I'm just gonna I'm going to assume that they have way more information and knowledge about why that is a very useful thing for us to do. Like I'm not gonna be like. You don't like. I'm already on just TikTok. I'm like, this isn't good for me. Like, take aside the whole.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want senators on TikTok. Like, get off. Like, I don't want you. And congressmen, get off fucking TikTok. You don't need to be on there.
Yeah, aside from the whole like China spying thing.
Yeah,
just like I think at face value, the app you don't need it on a government device. I don't need it on my personal device, but whatever. That's a whole other story. But yeah, then you add in. I'm sure the government between FBI, CIA, whoever is looking into that, they probably have good reason to be like, this shouldn't be on here. This is
well, let's pretend for a second that it's fine. Like what? Let's pretend for a second. Let's not take their word for it.
Okay.
Why is it a good thing that government devices have TikTok on their phone? Why can it be a good thing?
It provides plenty of dopamine hits in a soul-crushing, divisive, job.
Okay.
It's the only thing to lift your spirits, when you're doing the role of a blood-sucking, parasite.
Okay. Yeah. There's one.
I'm stretching.
Well, okay, so like I want the treasurer to have TikTok on their phone because they might get good financial advice on it from one of the many, people on there providing.
Maybe they follow somebody that provides good.
Maybe they follow like Andrew Tate and they.
Does he give good financial advice?
I don't know. I'm probably not. He probably tries to sell people on like crypto and stuff.
When you said that, I was like, do you know who Andrew Tate is? Like, I feel like that's not.
I don't think finance. I feel like he probably will give financial advice, but
maybe he has. I don't watch him enough.
Typically not what he even talks about other.
I think I've seen a total of 15 seconds of his stuff. Okay, but when you said that reminded me. I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that China TikTok is way different than US TikTok.
I've heard that, and I wonder how much of it is like, because it's like all the Chinese kids, they get like
STEM content.
We want to.
It's just like, here's the alphabet, here's how to build the Empire State Building, like
it's like stuff to like help them like with.
And then here we are, like
it's making kids want to be celebrities and influencers. And, which look. It's hard for us to criticize that because we want to work in entertainment. We literally are. We literally have a podcast, so I can't criticize it too much.
We do.
I can't say I'm worried about the kids. What example are we setting?
This isn't for kids. This is potty humor.
Well, I mean, even
adult themes.
I mean, my nephew listens to us. He's 16.
16's all right.
16 is a very impressionable age.
Yeah, but Fonecallz, there's a lot of life advice in here. You know, I think it could be valuable for a 16-year-old.
Right. But right.
Just kidding.
No, there's not. What was I just saying though? Oh, about does TikTok make is it making the youth want to pursue a vapid?
Well,
it's not.
My other question is like, okay, is that China's role? Like, because obviously America's got its claws into TikTok as well. Like, who's setting the algorithm there? If it's true that they're getting different content, like America, like capitalism, like we're going after like revenue, and we want to build this thing to be as addictive and as lucrative as possible. Right. So I feel like, is it the Americans that are tweaking the algorithm to be like, we're just going to show you all the dumb shit that's super, like you can't look away.
Right. It's just like easy. It's like,
or is it like China is like, okay, they're, it's their scheme and they're devising exactly what comes on to devices geolocated in the US or whatever. I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know who decides at a region.
Whatever it is, dude, it's a conspiracy.
Dude, whatever it is, I gotta learn that Wednesday dance, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. Trendy.
Have you watched Wednesday?
No, but...
Me neither.
I was talking with, I think who was I talking with? My father-in-law or something, and he was like almost embarrassed we were in a whole group, and he was like embarrassed to say, like he started watching it and he really likes it. And I was like, I heard it's good. Like, yeah, who cares?
I don't know. The protagonist is a 10-year-old girl. I shouldn't be relating to that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit. All I know from it is that Tim Burton did it, right? And he was
did he produce? Is it like executive produced by Tim Burton, or did he actually have a hand in it? Like,
I thought he directed. I'm not really sure. I shouldn't even say without really knowing. But
did he have a hand in it? Was he?
Oh, I get it. Oh. I only say that because I read something somewhere that he talked about how terrible it was working for Disney and how he doesn't want to work for Disney anymore. So maybe it was like a relief.
Wait, because Wednesday's not a Disney thing.
No, it's like right to Netflix.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe he had a better time. The Disney chains were not holding him. Speaking of Disney, Andor, dude. Gotta try.
Dude, I'm not gonna watch Andor.
Okay, but no. Really quick. Back to Andor. Anybody else who watches it. I will say, what I'm really impressed with, you won't care, but I'm just throwing it out there, is that we're getting to a really, really interesting place with TV where, dude, I'm watching this. This is 8 to 10 episodes or something for the first season, and it's just the quality and the consistency and, the wardrobe and the design, the production design, the CGI, the set extensions, everything. I'm just and the scale is so, how are movies worse? That's what I guess I'm getting at. Is you see these shows nail it, and they're such behemoths. There's 8 features in one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm how is the quality somehow superior?
Is it just more money, more time and attention? Because they know it's where people's attention is?
Maybe. I mean, and it's maybe that's it. I don't know. Or maybe it's just, it all depends on the hands of the creator, like that, like who it's going to. But like I'll be watching Andor and I'll be like, damn, like this is a big set. Like, and then they'll go to like a different planet or like a different spaceship. I'm like, okay, here's another set. And I'm like adding up in my head. I'm like, dude, there's a lot here. Like a lot.
I still feel like maybe it's because it's intimidating, but like I would just rather prefer like just a solid 90-minute story.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as making stuff, I'm still there. Like, I still want to make features. I haven't taken that leap where I like have the itch to like, I want to jump into making a really good series.
I mean, I think I can speak for the both of us where I feel like I don't think between the two of us, we've made one feature and
it would be,
it's not,
it would be hard. It would be very hard anyways. We're not like probably ready.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get a couple more features under our belt, but yeah, you're right. But a lot of friends and stuff, like people that are like writing them or outlining them.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried before, way before
we did the
we
Zorg
were ready.
thing. Dude, I thought the Zorg outline was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the Zorg outline was good, but that was just like a web series.
You know what we're talking about, Zorg? They know what we're talking about.
Zorg was, yeah.
Don't explain it anymore.
But that was just like 5-minute episodes, right?
I think they were 7.
5 to 7. Oh, whoa.
I think they were 7-minute episodes.
Remember The Real Deal?
I remember The Real Deal.
That was like a 20-minute Comedy Central thing.
Yeah, that was
So we've like dabbled, but we've never done a huge arc.
We've never pulled the trigger. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's intimidating. I'm just intimidated by it. So it's
it's a lot more work. You have to have a clear vision.
A lot more work, not good enough. That's what I'm saying. I'm not good enough to do it.
Can't do it.
Not talented enough. Dude, one time I read this quote, because I always had this idea of like writing is like this, because it's a creative thing, it's like you do have to tap into, you have to allow your subconscious to help you through it. Which is, I don't know, do you feel that way about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I always had this kind of like, it was like mystic to me. It was like this mystical thing to me, like being creative. It's like, it comes from you don't know where it comes from, And then one time I read this quote from David Mamet where he said that writing is bricklaying. And it's just like, like, yeah, I guess. And I've had the experience too. If you just sit down and you write and then.
I have a sneeze, hold on.
I know, I was waiting for it. Bless you.
Thank you.
You just sit down and you write, and then you just have to like demystify the process of doing it, and then it becomes less like it just becomes like bricklaying, and it's like anything else.
The more I read like helpful like tutorials or essays or advice on writing, the more it becomes apparent to me like that the advice is just one thing. It's just right.
Yeah.
Like writing is. I'm not trying to offer any like advice that has not been, like passed down before, but that's the summation of everything that I've come to learn about writing for anybody interested in writing is like, you just have to write. And writing is rewriting. You write something, it's probably going to be shitty, but that's fine because if there's like at the heart of it, at its core, there's an idea you like in there, then you rewrite it and it slowly gets better.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think so many people are thinking like, oh, there's like something there's some like key, like something I'm going to read that's going to like unlock this door in my mind to be like, oh, blah, 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 there's a novel, some magical that it doesn't exist. It's like, it's time and it's effort, and the effort is like actually doing it. You just put words on the page. And another quote that I read that was smart is like, you can't edit a blank page.
Right.
And I thought that was smart too, is like, I can't complain about not writing something good if nothing is even there.
Right.
Right. For me to like make better.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Right. Is that how you feel about it?
Yeah, I always picture it like I'm mining. I'm mining. And I got my little pickaxe and I'm going through mostly dirt and rock. And that's the laborious, just like,
yeah, let's just get it on paper.
And then eventually, and then you find a little gem. You're like, oh, that actually, and that's where the subconscious part comes in. Because sometimes I'll be writing I mean, whatever. Like if it's a poem or like outlining a story or beating something out or actually like putting dialogue on the page, and then somehow I write something that's like, oh, I actually like that.
And you also feel like, did that come from me? Like what? Like whoa, I didn't even, because there's such a part of writing that's like that subconscious layer where you're just, because that's why it's also important to free write. You just write with nothing. You have no plans. You just write, and you're kind of surprised at what comes out because you really are almost, it's like the closest you have to like letting your subconscious mind just like frolic.
Yeah.
It could be a little scary what comes out.
It can be a little scary sometimes.
But it's good,
Staring into the void.
That's why when you do it, when you're like writing a novel or like a screenplay, can be really good because you want to get to that place where you don't have like those strong attachments where you're like, if you're so guarded about like what this is going to be, then you're never going to like stretch and like try new things and, go there.
Then actually this brings to mind this other, I was on TikTok and,
oh boy,
something, I saw this, some people on there are like, armchair philosophers. Well, I don't mean to be condescending, but, someone had this idea and they were explaining it as like a relatively new idea of like a philosophical thought where our thoughts are not so much our own as it is like frequencies we tune into. And so people, I mean, maybe I'm saying shit that you've already heard.
No, I've never heard this.
But it's like, okay, the idea of like, let's say you have a political belief, and well, that was an example he used where it was like political beliefs and religious beliefs, they have very strong attachments. Like your ego, your identity is very much attached to like political beliefs and religious beliefs because it deals with like life and death stuff and also the way you feel like your life needs to be like run and maybe others. And so if somebody attacks those ideas, you feel like you are being attacked. Yeah. Like,
because it's sort of stuff that you live by.
Right. So it's like this idea of how much can you separate you from the ideas you have? Like, are your ideas you? Like, is there a difference?
Interesting.
And kind of this new thought is like, well, they're not. And so where do they come from? And it was explained like, because we have the reference of technology, it's like, oh, it's like you're just a radio receiver and you're tuning into. And I was trying to like, and it's interesting but I'm also trying to pick that apart, which is, I don't know, this idea of like, where do your thoughts come from? If they are these like external things. And again, the reason I'm even on this topic in the first place is because when you said about like, when you're writing and you get an idea and you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
I've had that experience of like, the reason idea I wrote. I wrote that in like 5 minutes, and by the time I was done, I was like, how the fuck did I come up with that?
Yeah.
But for anything, like I believe that, like, I'm trying to think of one that's not so like inflammatory and like the most like, what's like, I'm trying to think of like a simple, I'm trying to fucking parse this out like in real time. Like, what's like a very simple idea that you can hold? I don't know. Even like your favorite color? Is that a thing you could? No, I don't know.
Well, like the right to property. Like you have the right to.
I guess even let's go with even like I believe that everyone. Wait, what would you say? The right to.
Like the right to property, like private property.
Private property. Let's go with that. Private property. Like. Let's just say we both believe everyone has the right to have their own private property and things should, okay, where does that, is that an idea where you're tuning into, or is that like, where do I,
or are you were made aware of it probably from, histories and like from the way some people live and like, you get it from, I think that most things...
Get it from your mama.
Get it from your mama.
I got it from my mama. I got my belief to the right to private property from my mama.
Something like that and similar things feel like it's like a culmination throughout your life of just things you hear, like tidbits, like news, history. A lot of it comes from your parents. That's why, like, it's probably not a shocker that I feel like a lot of people that were raised really religious, maybe, have that, have religion as a big part of their lives, because it was a big part of their parents' lives and it was like passed down to them.
I think also stuff you get in your childhood too is like way harder to shake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The formative years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's why, like, I think there's been such a big effort, like, when people talk about, like, racism being taught. It's like, dude, when you, like, now having kids, you're like,
you're teaching really them how to
be racist. Yeah. But it's like, it's really those, like, early years that you're like, oh man, like, I gotta watch everything I say because it has such an impression. It has such an impact,
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Yeah, but I'll think of that now. I'm just a radio tuning in.
But also because I'm thinking, like, if we were like, but if we evolved from, like, whatever, like, primates, and then we were Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, all of our, like, everything we were motivated to do was to survive. So I guess, when did human beings go from being like like creatures that were, because I don't know, did an ape tune into the idea of, like, I need to, like, I guess, like, eating, like, basic, like, if I need to eat, like, that's not an idea. Like, I have to eat. Like, I'm hungry. That's not an idea. That's a physiological process.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe I need I need to have more bananas than you. Like, is that like a...
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just wondering what it became from, like, instinct, like literal most base survival instincts to, like, more abstract thoughts. Well, like, my favorite number is the color green.
Favorite number is the color.
Exactly. I'm just the most abstract thought I can think of, but it's like, so when did we go from survival instincts to more abstract thought, and then were the abstract thoughts then the things we're tuning into?
Well, I think I'm clearly out of my element, but I think that it probably came along with the development of the frontal lobe. Like, that's what they say separates humans from so many other species, is like our frontal lobe, like our cognitive ability to, like, think and process information in a different way and, like, be introspective. That probably played a big part.
Oh, yeah. Actually, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about, like, okay, so Einstein?
That dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know which Einstein I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think
so. Not the bagel bros.
Oh, who? Then are you talking about?
The Albert.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Al Einstein.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, apparently they took his brain out of his fucking head when he died, because they're like, why is this dude so smart?
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
I didn't know they took his brain out. Holy shit.
Yeah,
okay.
I think, they took his brain out of his head to, like, look at it and see, like, why is he so smart? And they actually saw that he had deeper grooves in his brain than most people. He had, like, essentially more surface area of his brain, so he had more room for, like, neurons and shit. So he had the thought E equals MC squared, right?
Yeah.
He had the theory of relativity.
Yeah.
Was that something he tuned into? Because at that point, if his brain was physiologically different, like, he actually had a different, like, radio. He had, like, it seemed like if his brain was actually, like, physically different than, like, our brains, he actually, like, are his thoughts still something he's tuning into, but it's like he had a better receiver than we did, or that theory's bullshit. He actually, like, the thoughts came from within him, and the thing that was inside of him was a brain that was actually, like, better.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, I would take that like radio, like, analogy so literally, because, like, seems like you're leaving out room for the human beings to innovate and, like, invent and think and, like, develop theories themselves. Like, I would argue, like, unless I'm totally wrong on, like, the origins of, the theory of relativity, but, like, if that was, his...
Yeah, he might have been working off of other, like, theories built
Well, maybe, but eventually, I mean, it's not like a caveman is just like, oh, like, I got it. And then, like, sketching it all. I think that you have to sit and think and experiment and work based on other people's knowledge and papers and evidence and, like... Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
That's my take on it. Like I don't think the radio receiver tuning in, like I think that there's a place for that works in my head. That's like, okay, yeah, like that makes sense, but I don't think that's for everything. Like every idea and thought.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's like, if you were to accept that as like a truth, it's like it's that or it's not. It's like it's a like maybe some of it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it has probably more, I think it's more relevant to like bigger ideas, like you were saying, like religion, politics, like identities that people follow.
I think if anything, it's a nice thought experiment to not take your own thoughts so seriously.
Yeah.
And to not get your identity wrapped up in like, and like something that, if it's challenged, you're going to, freak out.
I was going to circle back to something amidst that. So like, in relation to thinking and like where did that idea come from, I've been just like reading a lot about how beneficial it is to do nothing. Did we talk about this? I feel like maybe briefly. Like there's been a lot of studies and a lot of things I've been reading that are just how beneficial it is, like creatively too, if you're in a space where you're like stuck or like a writer's block or something. It's very helpful to just sit and like not be preoccupied with anything else. Mm-hmm. And one of the articles I read was like, how often can you honestly say you've done nothing? And that struck me as I was like, oh man.
But you can't say that because then you look like a fucking loser to everybody.
We have talked about this because we talked about like how weird it would be at a restaurant. You're just sitting there not doing anything and people are, what, you're not on your phone?
Yeah. No, but also just if you're catching up with someone and someone's like, what have you been up to? I'm always like, I sometimes like nothing really. And it feels
literally
like
nothing.
Yeah, it feels like you feel like, oh man, or do I look do I look bad for saying that?
Well,
not much.
But I think there's a difference. I think like using it as a tool to like help be productive is different than like literally doing nothing.
Yeah, I guess it's different. It's a different scope. What are you up to? I just was been exploring the depths of
my mind and ideas, and
I've been traveling inward a lot. It's
not a bad thing.
I've been opening my mind's eye a lot lately.
Oh, fascinating.
By deprivating my senses.
Those self-deprivation tanks that you went in the one time?
Yeah.
Man, they've got some fancy ones out now.
Did I ever talk about that on here? I must have.
I don't know if you did, because you did that a while ago.
Yeah. I did, yeah.
That was in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
If anybody doesn't know, Vinny did a self-deprivation tank. Explain the experience.
And I
really
did
quick.
Before Joe Rogan had one. He might have been doing it, but like,
explain the experience.
I went to there was a mangrove. There was an orange grove. Mangroves. Those are like
I don't know what you're getting at.
That's like a fruit, right? There's like I'm trying to describe the like in the Buddhist mythology, there's like Buddha was seated in a mangrove.
Okay.
I don't know if whatever.
I think you need to sit with your thoughts more and do nothing.
Anyway, I went under a building and I took these stairs down into some basement and there was deprivation tanks and you sit in this little room and they had nice music playing. They're trying to make it feel very zen.
Yeah.
Even though you're just in like a office space essentially. And then they strip you down.
Ooh.
Right there in front of everybody.
Wow.
And they say, what are you sorry for?
Oh wow.
No,
Catholic Church or
yeah. There was a confessional there. They had a priest. But his white collar was tie-dye. So you felt like, oh, this is a cool priest.
Cool dude.
No, none of that is true. You go into a room, you shower off, so you don't. So you
can't contaminate.
You don't want to
tank.
get your physical filth into the tank.
I didn't even think of that.
They do have you shower off, and then I got in this tank, and I was told it's like, oh, the tank and the water is the same temperature as your body, so you feel like, it feels
you feel like one with
the surrounding. But I was very aware of everything, and this also is my first time, so it's maybe if you do it 4, 5, 6 times, it's the experience becomes less novel. You can actually get into it. So I say all this I'm being cynical about it with a grain of salt. I got in and I had to put these earplugs in because, like, you don't want to get the salt water in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, mine kept falling out because I have like 2 different sized ear holes.
Didn't know that about you.
Yeah, when I put like headphones in, like one fits better than the other.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's something weird.
You're so fucking weird, dude.
So, and I'm in there, I'm in the tank, and I'm like, and it wasn't like effortless. I had to like took a little core strength to like float.
Yeah.
And I kept like floating back and like bumping my head into the back of the tank, and I'm like, I'm not getting into it. And one of my earplugs fell out, and I'm like, oh no. Eventually I saw like a pinwheel like thing. I saw like some pinwheel design.
Because it's totally black in there.
It's totally black in there. Yeah, you can't see shit. And it's very quiet. But like I had this, but like all like the sensations of like trying to float, like it wasn't. I was very much aware of like I wasn't like I thought like I would like astrally project the first time, you know. And it's like no, you're not gonna.
Goodbye, self.
I did see a little something. My brain try to fill in the blank space. But that was it. And maybe if I'd done it more times, like I would have ascended to the 5th plane.
Yeah.
But
and then upper management would have been there and they'd have been like, welcome, Vince, you did it. Now can I interest you in a full subscription?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, well, the reason I've seen like commercials for like new, like it seems like it's either taking off or there's new startups or whatever, but like they look like astronaut, like high tech pods. The one I saw, like they had like LED lights on the inside. It was all like the shell of it was like white and slick and futuristic looking.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, like I wouldn't mind trying that out. But then I remember every time I think about what you said, and I'm like, eh.
I mean, I would say it's worth the experience, but like it's one of those things where you got to probably do it like 5 or 6 times
to really feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I might just use my money and get a body massage.
Who wants a body massage?
I do. I've gotten a couple, and we have a place down the street from us, and I'm like, yes.
Who wants a body massage?
Yeah, it's that's my way to relax and nearly fall asleep.
Do you think Santa's real?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Bless you.
Thanks.
We both got the sneezies.
Yeah, oh my god, it's dusty up here. It's really dirty.
It's not that dusty.
It's dirty.
And
It's
in the
kinda
beginning,
dirty
when
up here.
you said that, you made me look like a fool in front of everybody. I had a little bit of cat hair on my futon. I just thought, like, oh, I'm going to take it off. And in Vinny's mind, Vinny's very, very conscious of that stuff. Germs, any minutia. And Vinny saw me waft one cat hair, and in his mind, a whole thing of it went...
Dude, the arrows blot out the sun, man.
And it just plopped right into your drink. Are you feeling around with your tongue every sip you take, and you're just like...
No, it's fine.
I feel the grit.
I went to go look at it, and I saw some floaties in there, and I was like, oh, and I just could not say anything about it. I wish I hadn't, but I did.
Saw some floaties.
I wish I hadn't, but I did. Dude, I heard something crazy. Okay, you know how sometimes you see the floaties in your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're ever staring at like a bright light, or like we're staring at snow on the roof next door, but like if you're ever looking at a bright light and there's like, and you see little things like darting through your like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I've
seen
that?
it.
Like,
yeah.
like the tiny little things darting.
Yeah.
Someone told me those are white blood cells.
Oh, really?
That you can actually see because they're so close to like the capillaries going over your cones and rods.
Interesting. I'm trying to get them to... Yeah, I see them right now. It happens a lot when I like look at something bright, but then I like... If I really pay attention and I move my eyes back and forth, like
Right.
I can feel them trying to play catch up.
No, it's not the floaties.
Oh, it's not the floaties.
It's not the floaties.
It's just when you're staring and you see something cross in front.
like, yeah, you see like little tiny things like darting. Like you can't focus on them. You just have to kind of notice them.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Anyway, apparently those are your white blood cells. Hard at work, clearing up all the gunk inside your blood.
Look, you speaking of cones and rods got me thinking, I want more cones and rods.
You want to see more of the spectrum.
Yeah. I want... If anybody... Go and Google how some people... It's rare, but some people have more cones and rods in their eyes. Like they were just born with... I don't know if it's genetic... but the spectrum of color they see is greater than ours. And I don't even know, being lived with what I have at my disposal, I don't even know what that means, but I want it.
I think you just see different hues. You're not seeing new colors, you're just seeing different shades of...
Yeah, but how can you well, technically those are new colors, aren't they? It's a greater...
I guess so.
It's a...
But, yeah, okay.
I'm thinking of it like a color picker on, like you're on Photoshop and you go and you drag and... like, this is your square that you got to work with. Yeah. All the colors that you have ever seen.
Yeah. And then
like, this is their square.
Yeah.
Like, what's in the in-between?
I want that bigger
sure,
square.
It's like the colors you're familiar with, but there's...
Right. Yeah, I guess like, I'm looking at on your wall right there, you got this cool Akira poster, and it's like red and black. Like, could there be other shades of red in there?
Yeah.
We would, I don't know.
Or like, for instance, the mantis shrimp or something?
Yeah.
The mantis shrimp, like, sees, like, crazy colors, like way more than...
Yeah, it sees, like, humans. The solar eyes effect.
Something, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, never mind.
But
with rainbow added...
Yeah, I want that. And when we start to genetically engineer babies, I'm going to give all my kids, my future kids, all the cones and rods.
Okay, sir, you have 5 points.
It's how it's going to be.
5 attribute points that you can upgrade your child. We have physical ability.
Mm-hmm.
We have perception.
Uh-huh.
We have intellect.
Uh-huh.
You can give them another toe.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is just cosmetic.
Oh, but it's still cool.
Or you can give them more veins.
Oh,
you could increase the veins in their bodies, and it just gets all that blood going to every which way much faster. But
will they be really prominent on their skin?
Oh yeah, real veiny, but like they're never cold. They're always warm.
That's cool.
And they actually have more blood to fill up.
Yeah, I'm going to go all 5 points on the veins.
Great, so...
Super veiny.
Super veiny, full of blood.
Full of blood.
Never cold.
They won't need intellect, because they'll just...
Yeah.
They'll be like a freak show.
I wonder what that would look like.
Lots of veins?
Yeah, just so many veins. Like, if you had 3 times as many veins in the same body.
I mean, just look at a dude who's, like, yoked out of the gym for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, but more than that.
But more, yeah.
There was these 2 guys on the plane next to me, and they were like this.
Well, they just got done with a workout, or that's just their body? They were just...
No, like the one dude was just like
he's just built big.
Just resting. He just was like
big.
Was like, yeah, he's just like, ugh. And he had super veiny arms. Yeah.
That's how he worked hard for him, probably.
And it was 2 kind of like gym bros, and they kissed, and they were a couple.
Were they? Yeah,
and I was like, man, like, it's a lot of force going on when they're in the bedroom. That's a lot of pounds per square inch in the thrust.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
2 very jacked dudes. I don't think this was my idea, but like, it was something like having sex with another dude like is not gay. It's like that's it because to like, especially if it's another strong guy, because if you're trying to manhandle like another man, like that takes some strength. Like that takes like there's nothing gay about that. It's like, if you're thinking of like masculinity, that's like, you got a lot of strength. It's like so gay it comes back around. I don't even know if it's gay or straight. At this point, it's just, I don't know.
What's the opposite of that people joke about? They say, dude, like, it's gay to like women because women like men.
That's funny.
Well, what are we at?
We're at an hour. I guess it's a good note to go out on.
Yeah, it's a good note. Well, we did it. Our first, hopefully not only.
I'm sure we'll do another in-person one.
Maybe we'll do the next one in LA.
That'd be cool.
I get out there.
On the beach. On Venice Beach.
It just becomes a podcast, but outside.
Should we rebrand it to the Vinny and Aaron show?
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
I mean, would that be a lot of work? I mean, some of the videos are gonna.
How about you do it and we'll find out how much work it is, and then you decide how much we want to change it.
I mean, because we have 45 episodes.
Well, I just want to look into it. I don't know if we did rebrand it, which I'm not opposed to. Do we go back and change all the old ones? Do we?
I'd be fine to go back and change like all the titles of everything. And some of them will have the Fonecallz watermark burned into them, which is fine. I'm more concerned about like all like the URLs and like accounts we have set up, if those can be changed without it being a problem.
That might be the trick.
Yeah.
That is something we should look into. Because, I think the Vinny and Aaron show from our old high school, I think that's already got that definitely has a YouTube page, but I forget if it has its own URL, you know?
Yeah.
I have to look into it.
I would do all the legwork, like changing all the text and stuff, if you figure out
we'll look into it.
The back end shit.
This has also been wraps up pretty much. I think we can call it here. This has been a year of Fonecallz.
Yeah,
because I think we'll end up uploading this one right at the new year, and that's just about where we uploaded the first.
Wow, 1 year. I think we only missed. Well, wait. If this is episode like 45, and there's 52 weeks in a year,
yeah, we only missed
like
weeks.
7 weeks.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Not bad at all. Well, hopefully not bad. Hopefully people enjoyed it. Came along and talked with us. Hopefully not about the same things too many times.
Yeah, I'm always worried about that.
We should make a compilation of every time like we say, "Do we already talk about this?"
Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
That's so funny.
Maybe you could do that for us. Maybe if you're an avid Fonecallz watcher, you can go back and you can cut that for us. And we'll give you credit and exposure. We'll expose you to the elements. We'll tie you up in a chair outside in the cold. Once you die of exposure.
Well, this has been Fonecallz, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. It's Fonecallz.